Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading, everyone. And today's reading is a pick an animal reading, and we are going to be looking at your long-term goals and how you are progressing towards your long-term goals. I actually had a request from someone who said that they were having trouble losing weight, and why weren't they losing weight? And you know, who knows, right, what your long-term goals are. Maybe some of you want to lose some weight. Maybe some of you want to finish a degree. Maybe some of you want to get a house or build a house. Maybe some of you would like to meet someone. Maybe some of you would like to finish your studies once and for all on a particular topic, right? What are your long-term goals? And I'm assuming you already kind of know what your long-term goals are. They may be in different areas of life, and we may address those different areas of life here. But what we're really looking at is how are you progressing with regard to a long-term goal that you've had for a while, okay? And we have 3 piles to choose from. And I drew these 3 animals from my the Oracle of the Animal Spirits deck, and it looks like this. Many of you have probably seen it before. It's a really great animal deck, and the pictures are very vivid. And I chose, basically shuffled, and these 3 animals came out in this order. So I will go over what the animals are with you, and then you can choose your pile, and you can go directly to the description box. In the different piles will be time-stamped in the description box below. And of course, you can watch more than one pile. Thank you for being here today. For those of you that don't know, I do have another channel called Natalie H or powermoontarot. So if you would like to check that channel out, a link to that channel is in my description box below. And that channel is more focused on love and romance and 18+ readings and things like that. On this channel, we go deep into the spiritual, although everything is spiritual if you think about it, right? So, and of course, relationships are where we do some of the most challenging and epic spiritual work of all, okay? Whether it's relationships with loved ones, with family, with romantic relationships, with friends, etc. We are always evolving and changing in that area anyway. And one thing I thought was interesting about all these cards is they all have the number 2 on them. So the first one here, and I'll go through each pile. The first one is the Antelope Spirit, card number 2. And it says, life is speeding up. Okay, so if you resonate with the Antelope Spirit and the fact that life is speeding up, you can choose pile number 1. And for pile number 2, we have Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion is what it says here on this card. And this is number 22 for pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have the Flamingo Spirit. And I had a feeling the flamingo was gonna come up. Actually, it's pretty funny. I feel like the flamingo has been with me recently. So I was like, yep, I think the flamingo is gonna show up. The Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between, card 26, okay? So that's 2, 22, and 26. And what's interesting is every single one of these starts with a 2. So 2 is the number for the day. And whatever animal spirit is drawing you in is the pile that you're going to choose today. Maybe it's the color, maybe it's the animal spirit that's resonating with you. And again, like I said, you can watch more than one pile. So let's go ahead and get into the first pile. Oftentimes though, I find like one pile really will resonate with someone who's watching, but you know, there could be multiple messages for you in multiple piles. So you're always free to check out what you feel like checking out, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it for my beautiful pile number 1s. Let's do it, pile number 1. Okay, let me get situated here for you. Take a deep breath and let's do it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Antelope Spirit, and your mantra is life is speeding up. And this is card number 2 in the Animal Spirit deck. And I will be reading a little bit about the antelope after I'm done with your oracle cards. First, we're going to hit your oracle cards, then we will hit your tarot. And we are going to be looking at your long-term goals. How are you progressing towards your long-term goals? Okay, so we're going to meditate on this antelope. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to pile number 1 and the beautiful antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. All right, and yeah, this antelope looks like it's ready to move out of situations that it's been in, and it's just like, I'm done with that. I am ready to move on. I'm not looking behind anymore. I'm not looking back anymore. This time I'm serious and I'm gonna move myself right along, okay? And so yeah, I feel like you guys in pile number 1, like you're very serious about life is changing and you're moving on, and there might be something that you really want to get on with, or just get it over with, or get on with it, or get done with it. But yeah, life is speeding up for you, pile number 1. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to say about your oracle cards here today. We have the Connector and Venus. Okay, so you guys had card number 2, which 2, of course, is the number of union and bringing 2 different things together, and Venus energy really talking about connections. And I feel like some of you guys have been really annoyed with some of the people you've been connecting with, whether it's romantically, in business. And I feel like some of you are like, yeah, this sucks. When is this gonna change? And I know what I want in my heart, and this isn't it. And I don't really wanna do this anymore, or I'm not into this. And I know really you might be in a place right now just because you care, or there's people that you care about there, but ultimately I feel like your heart is not really in it. And when you're in Venus energy, or you're a Venus person, you know, you really have to, first of all, there has to be something artistic about it. There has to be something that you can connect with other people on. There has to be a purpose for doing it, right? And we see a lion here too, and we see a fox, right? So talking about, you know, some people I feel like only have their interests in mind and are really coming from the heart space. And then we have this lion here who is trying to lead and be protective and, you know, watch out for everyone else, okay? So I feel like you guys, the situations you've been connecting into have been a little bit off, and you know, you're running into all different kinds of people, or you're running into many different energies, and you're just like, yeah, I kind of just want to zoom out of this. And on this card, it says, we are one. Heart-centered, creative, communicating, diplomatic, devoted, harmonious, inspiring, accommodating, receptive, compassionate, and empathic. Okay, so empathetic. So yeah, I mean, you guys are empathetic to the plight of others, and maybe that's why you stick around in a place or a situation or a relationship or a job or a family situation. Like, you stick around in it because you care, because you're a person that cares for others. And but at the same time, I feel like these energies are looking in another direction, and they're going to be moving in another direction soon. So it's like you're going to finally be free to move in another direction, which is really good. And yeah, so Spirit talking about, and I know you guys know that we're all one. It's not, you know, I feel like that isn't your guys' issue. You know, you already know that we're all one, and that we all are together, and we're all a part of this grand human experience, right? But it's kind of like you need to pull away from the herd, because your life is starting to speed up here. Okay, we have a wake-up call, listen and take note. Listen and take note. And an angel here is blowing this horn. It's like a megaphone. Wake up, pile number 1. wake up, okay? And it's shrill and it's loud. And if you've just been in a situation because you care, but it's not satisfying you on a deep level, some of you are headed into a big time wake up call where it's like, you know, on a bullhorn, you can't miss it. It's a huge wake up call, okay? So something's gonna kind of, maybe even something already has, pile number one, and you've already been snapped out of it. And you already know what you have to do, right? And it's just a matter of getting things rolling here. We have the Rider, news and comings and goings, all right? So you may hear of someone's coming and going, but I also feel like maybe you haven't known like whether you're coming or going. It's like on one hand, you're like, oh, okay, I guess. But on the other hand, you're like, yeah, no, I don't really like that. And it's like, am I coming or am I going? Am I leaving and am I staying? Right? And you can see, you can observe and see what's going on. I feel like pile number one. But I mean, the whole situation is that you're going to be getting some news and a wake-up call here, and I think you're going to be moving out of something that has been keeping you stuck and maybe keeping you from reaching those long-term goals that you have wanted to reach, or reaching that one particular one that just nags at your soul. It's like da-da-da-da-da, right? Pile, it's like taking a little pin and poking holes and being like da-da-da-da-da-da, right? It's like sewing something. It's like that. It won't let up, you know? Like whatever this is, whatever this goal is, it's not going away, right? So, and that's a good thing. If something doesn't go away, it's like, okay, well, you know, like we got to make it happen, right? But there is something for you to release in this process, and it may be a connection with someone. It could be, there could be a Leo or an Aquarius involved here, or a group that you're a part of, or a situation at work. But I definitely feel like, and we could have Libra energy or Venus, Libra or Taurus energy in this pile too. But what do you need to release? Waning moon. So what is, you know, and I feel like you're going to be hearing news of somebody leaving, and it kind of releases you in a way, or maybe it's a wake-up call when you hear someone else is leaving and you're like, oh shit, that I guess I can go too. Just talking about, and because this is showing like a winter wonderland here, and we are moving into winter, I feel like, you know, you guys are going to be releasing things here. And I'm seeing B and W here, B and W. What else? I'm seeing the letter Y. All right. I feel like I see the word, like half of the word yes. Okay. It's almost like you're ready to let this go. It's almost there. Okay. What else am I seeing here? I'm seeing the sky, or like, you know, or this, what is it? The sky? Or this, how do you say it? I always forget how to say that word. But you know, like it's like the hatchet or the machete kind of thing that Saturn carries with it. I am seeing that here. And I feel like it's just about time, you know, you're just about there, pile number one. And once you fully release this, whatever's been on your back and on your shoulders or weighing on you, or just been a part of your reality, I feel like is about ready to kind of lift off of you. Okay. And because this Rider card is the 9 of Cups here is in the background of it, I feel like you're going to hear good news, and hopefully that's going to help you like get motivated to be like, yeah, this situation doesn't need me anymore. I'm good to just kind of go here. And we have the land between. The land between. So it's in that very nebulous place, pile number one. I feel like I'm seeing the word Lindy, Lindy, or maybe it's windy. Lindy, Wendy, Lindy. Okay, interesting. I feel like you guys are just kind of, you got your binoculars up and you're looking at what's ahead, and you can tell, you know, things have been on a pause here in the land between. It's like, yeah, I'm not really like feeling this anymore. I'm not really like, you know, it's okay technically that I'm in this in between phase, but it's not my ultimate goal. And I feel like some of you have maybe been stuck in this in-between phase for a while, and there could be some important news that helps you release the stuckness. We have sunflower and assertiveness. Rise up, stand, it's so funny. This reminds me of like, what is that Bob Marley song? Rise up, stand up, da da da, fight for your right. What is that song by Bob Marley? Rise up, stand up, da 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 da. Yeah, maybe some of you like Bob Marley, but for me to get that, stand up for your rights, rise up, stand up, right? So it says sunflower and assertiveness. Rise up, stand stronger, and true, okay? And like this lion here, rise up, stand up, be assertive about what it is that you want, okay? Pile number one. We have Janine the Maid, guardian of the saints, humility, disillusionment, and champion. So I see you guys as, like the champion for the downtrodden and, watching out for others. You guys have a lot of humility in pile number one. You guys don't want to, I feel you guys don't want to take more than what's yours, and you feel like you should help others. And that's very noble, pile number one. But I also feel like you have the heart of a champion. There's the heart, and there's the world champion there. You have the heart of a champion, so there's no need to kind of, wander around in graveyards of the past like lost. There's no need to really do that. And I love her like very sharp haircut here. She looks like she's this like sharp bob of a haircut. She looks like she's about ready to like cut some things off. She reminds me of like Joan of Arc talking about the throat chakra and speaking your truth. She also reminds me of the Queen of Swords, okay, right? So yeah, you shall know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee, right? Pile number one. So I feel like, you feel you should be assertive and stand up for others and be there for others. But, what about standing up and being there for yourself, right? Spirit's definitely saying it's time for that. We have lavender and serenity. And I think you are very good at standing up for others, pile number one. And that's a wonderful quality. And I think that you're very strong about the way you carry yourself, both mentally and emotionally. You're very, very strong, pile number one. But, I think releasing something is going to bring you a lot of peace and serenity here, and hopefully being able to sleep easier at night as well. Removing some of that stress and worry, like it's always on you, that you're always like the maiden in waiting or the lady in waiting. I don't know why I'm getting that right now, but that's what I'm getting, okay? So I think you're gonna sleep easier and rest easier once you kind of make up your mind here. We have the homeland and foundation. Okay, because there's a map here, some of you guys may want to move or leave where you're at, or return home for a bit, or leave your homeland, or go someplace completely different, and you've always had a goal. Or maybe some of you would like to move somewhere for a little bit and experience that, or you'd like to, one of your goals is to have a strong foundation in your life and not always feel like you're living in the in-between, right? And for some of you, I feel like it's a general reading, so I feel like some of you are gonna wanna leave your homeland and set up a foundation, a strong foundation somewhere else. And for some of you, you've always been looking for that strong foundation and for a place that feels like home, and maybe wanting to, own some property somewhere, own some land somewhere, have a really strong foundation with a person in your life that feels really, where you're not just stuck in this in-between world, right? And I feel like, literally the connector is you right here. Here's the left, here's the right, you're the connector. But I also feel like Spirit is saying you're connecting something really important right now that is gonna help you speed things up. And yeah, talking about certain goals around like where you live or the home that you live in, things that you want to accomplish. Maybe some of you wanting to own a home someday, just having that really strong foundation and not feeling like you're constantly like just swaying in the wind. Pile number 1, we have here, walk your truth. Yeah, and that's coming out here with the Joan of Arc looking here, guardian of the saints, right? So I feel like, you know, this is card number 35, and some of you may be older or younger than 35, but, you know, I remember when I was 35, I kind of got to that age where I was just like, I'm gonna walk my truth. If you like me, you like me. If you don't like me, then whatever. You know, I kind of dropped the whole like people pleasing of my early 30s, and especially at work, you know, I was like, I know who I am. And I feel like for those of you where this involves work situations and you're wanting to find a place where you belong and a strong foundation, you know, all of this has to do with being assertive, you know, laying out the foundation, being a champion for yourself, walking your own truth, releasing what no longer is relevant for you, and, you know, hearing that wake up call, okay? And life is speeding up for those of you that have really felt stuck. I feel this is changing. Saturn and truth, okay? Sometimes the truth hurts. Pile number 1. Have you heard that song by Lizzo called Truth Hurts? Interesting song. Just made me think of that. But we have walk your truth, and then we have Saturn and truth. So the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off, okay? And I'm seeing the word eat. So some of you may be also thinking about like your eating habits and what you're, you know, putting in your body every day, and needing to be like really honest and truthful about that. Talking about, you know, like as we get older, we grow in wisdom. I mean, a lot of people who are older aren't that wise, you know. A lot of times age may not have a whole lot to do with wisdom if people aren't growing, etc. But I feel like here, this is wisdom. This is walking your truth. Okay, this is walking your path. It's not easy, right? No one ever said it was going to be easy, right? Pile number 1. But, you know, I was just taking a class the other day on palmistry or palm reading, or chiromancy is the name of it. And it's very interesting because the lines in the palms, while they, you know, are like set at birth and they don't really change, when you make certain decisions in life, or you go face certain challenges and you withstand things, and you make different decisions, and you move into new territories. Actually, I was taking a class with probably one of the most premier like palm readers, and it was just one class, so I'm not like an expert on it, but what I gathered from what he was saying is that, you know, when we make different choices in our lives, like the actual lines in our palms can shift a little bit, which was crazy to me. Like, that is just crazy to me, but that is actually living your truth, right? Because you might think, well, it's my hand, right? I can't change it. It's my fate. It's my destiny. And to a large extent, I really do believe in fate and destiny, but I also, you know, I also think that we do have some free will. And I see you guys here, you're working on changing and altering something in your life, and you know, it's living with more truth. Okay, it's living with more truth. And I'm seeing the number 75 or 76 here. I don't know if some of you have a grandparent at that age, or you lost a grandparent when they were that age, but Spirit is drawing me to 75 or 76, and is also showing me the word M and the number 5. Okay, so somebody could be born in May here, or the number 5 is also just, or someone could have a birthday on the 5th, or your birthday adds up to a 5, like the 23rd or the 14th. But I feel like what Spirit is also saying here is the 5s are all about challenges, the challenges that cause us to grow. And yeah, so it's not easy. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier to stay kind of in situations where things are like you can survive through it, but it's not really what you want. However, to go for what you want would require that you be more assertive and you set better structures and foundations with Saturn and foundation, that you have a very strong structure and foundation. And then from that point, you can walk your truth. You can make your choices and make your decision, okay? But some of you guys probably getting an intense wake-up call and Spirit telling you to listen and take note for good news about coming and goings coming your way. Maybe someone who is very problematic is finally going to be released from your life, which is, you know, which is a good thing, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the tarot for my beautiful pile number ones. First pile is going to be what's going correctly when it comes to your progression and your long-term goals. And the second pile, or the second row, is going to be about, you know, what you still need to work on, okay? So Spirit, can you show me 4 cards for the first? Yeah, here we go. Here's the 5 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the King of Wands, okay? So I do think this is what you're doing right so far, pile number one, when it comes to manifesting your long-term goals. And I am talking about manifesting with the Ace of Wands here, or when it comes to achieving your long-term goals as well. And I think you guys are able to take, you know, something that is a situation that looks pretty crappy, or a situation that's been very hard to operate in because maybe there hasn't been enough resources, or maybe you've been doing this alone and you've been doing the best you can, pile number one. And I feel like even so, like, you're able to make something out of nothing. You're able to find the good. You're able to take small actions, right? Page of Pentacles is all about chopping things up into, you know, digestible little things that can help us push us forward on our path. And I definitely, there could be a Sagittarius as well here in this energy with the King of Wands. But I feel like, you know, there's demands on you. There's pressures on you when it comes to work or a boss or a partner. You know, there could be somebody who has very high expectations for you, pile number one, that you feel like is breathing down your neck or is looking for you to produce something, and somebody that gets very easily frustrated with you or can be demanding or angry at times, or maybe just you being that way with yourself. And I feel like, or overly critical with yourself. And I feel like, or maybe some of you had a very overly critical parent as well, or parental figure, or somebody in your life that was very challenging and overly critical, right? This King of Wands coming out on what you need to release, okay? So for some of you, it could be an actual person that you're going to hear about their comings and goings that actually needs to be released, or it could be an attitude within yourself, right? And I feel like what you're doing really good is, even in situations that have been very challenging to you, you still managed to make the most of it, Page of Pentacles, and to learn something, all right? And it's clearly shown you where you're willing to make changes, where you're really willing to be passionate, like where your passions are actually at. Like, your passions are not defined by anyone else. Your passions are uniquely yours. And that creative spirit and that creative fire within you belongs to you, pile number one, and no one else. And, you know, still making, it's like people that are very resourceful. It's like, okay, you know, you're in this little box and you have to make, you know, we're going to give you 5 pieces of material and you need to make the best piece of art out of that with no light and these little 5 pieces of material, you know, and you're with other people who are doing it in their little boxes right next to you. And at the end, you come out and you produce this beautiful thing that also could be very practical and useful. And it's like, well, damn, you know, pile number one can really still keep making good strides towards what they want because they're passionate, they're excited, and they're passionate. okay? And they know that they're gonna get there someday. And I also feel like for those of you, you know, I think you could be very good leaders as well, because I feel like with this lion energy that was showing up, you might not have had a lot of good leaders around you, but I do feel like under times of stress, pile number one, you can be a good leader. And you're one of those people that's like, roll your sleeves up, right? Like you would never ask anyone to do what you yourself wouldn't do. And because of that, you're a good leader is also what spirit, like a good leader of your life and a good leader of others, or you would be if you haven't had an opportunity to do that yet. Maybe unlike some of the leaders that you have encountered yourself, okay? Which could have been quite abrasive. Like some of you may have had a very abrasive leader in your life, or, you know, at work, or an abrasive partner, or an abrasive parent. But I feel like you guys make the best out of a situation because you're very passionate individuals with a good, you know, head on your shoulders and a spark for life. All right. So that is progressing. You are making, you know, determined strides here. But let's go ahead and see what could improve for my pile number ones when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to your long-term goals. We have Four of Pentacles, so try not to get stuck, try not to feel hopeless, try not to get depressed or to feel hopeless, try not to worry about money too much or worry about what you know, don't have, okay? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. So kind of losing the faith, you know, and just being like, I can't, I don't know, this is too hard, right? As I said with Saturn, there's a lot of Saturn energy in your guys' pile, okay? And maybe some of you going through a Saturn return, or maybe you just did or about to, but you know, there's a lot of Saturn energy here. This is Sun in Capricorn, this is Saturn in Taurus, and here's a Saturn card right here. And then we have a card of foundation underneath here. So I feel like some of you are saying, I can't really do anything right now because my money or my foundation really isn't where I want it to be. So I just need to kind of endure where I'm at, right? And maybe losing a little bit of hope, or just feeling very heavy or even negative, maybe like this isn't going anywhere. This isn't actually moving forward, you know. And we have the Four of Swords here. So Spirit's saying, you know, yeah, about a good night's sleep with this lavender energy and this serenity energy, and what do you need to release? So I feel like you could have a lot on your mind right now, pile number one, about how maybe feeling kind of worried and anxious about how things are going to turn out here. And I feel like you guys have been doing the work, even in hard situations, you've been persevering. And give yourself a break sometimes, okay? And you need that. You need to rest so that you can come up with these new ideas, and you can have this you know, wake up call. You can see this news flash, like I talked about earlier, that's happening for you. And you may get some messages in your dreams, okay? But you definitely also, this is a Jupiter and Libra card with the Four of Swords. So we need to be a little more optimistic and know that the worst is over. And we've just kind of been in a holding pattern here. But let's see what else could be done here. Resting more, because you have been working hard, pile number one. And we have the Knight of Swords. So letting other people kind of, when you're trying to, and look at you, World, the World card, long-term goals and success on the bottom of the deck, pile number one. It's within reach, right? And you're a lovely person, Queen of Cups. Here's the Hierophant, right? There may be a Cancer or a Taurus or a Capricorn that can help you along this path. But yeah, there are helpful people here, I feel, and Spirit smiles on you with this World card saying, it's coming, it's coming. Life is speeding up. All the work that you've been doing, just feeling heavy, feeling like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. the number on the scale isn't budging, or I want to leave, but I can't save up enough money. Every time I do, there's a setback, or I don't think I have enough, right? All these different things that can come up. And I feel like, you know, whether it's your own intrusive thoughts kind of bursting in on you when you're trying to get some mental relief and mental peace here, you know, whether it's your own kind of intrusive thoughts being like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't get that done, you know, or whether it's someone in your environment who is very abrasive. And I mentioned the word abrasive, and just kind of lives in your head all the time and eats away at you, even when you're trying to relax. I feel like news is going to be coming where this person is no longer going to be having an impact on you, okay? I also feel like while you're sleeping or dreaming, there are messages coming in hot. They're coming in strong. And so you want to have an open mind to that, but not to the abrasive, arrogant, aggravating, full of themselves energies that could be around you. And if you're the one that's having intrusive thoughts, you know, and feeling like, God, you know, like this isn't moving, this isn't budging, I did all this work, it isn't happening, right? Sometimes it's hard to see what we're actually doing and creating because we're at, you know, we're at an early phase, or because we're in a new phase and we've done so much already, but we're just making these progressions, okay? So, you know, talk about life speeding up with the Ace of Wands for sure. Like definitely that passion, that vitality, that energy, that get up and go is coming back after a period of feeling sluggish, I feel, pile number one. And also be careful of what you're eating, that you're not eating foods that are really weighing you down or giving you sugar highs and crashes and things like that. Because I feel like that's not, if you're eating stuff that's making you feel really heavy right now, that's maybe something that you want to release, right? Some of you, what do you need to release? For those of you feeling constipated, just kidding, pile number one, but interesting, interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and read this Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up here, and take a look at what Spirit has to say about this, okay? When the Antelope Spirit rushes into your life, you are being reminded of the quickening of your personal evolution as a powerful co-creator. King of Wands, Ace of Wands. You are being told unequivocally that it is time to get moving. Set your intentions. Yeah, we saw the be assertive message right here too. Set your intentions and take action towards making your dreams real. Yeah, and the whole thing too of you, you know, if you're just like, oh, it's not worth it, it's not moving anywhere, I'm just gonna kind of put it on hold here. It's Spirit saying, no, no, no. You know, sometimes the agent provocateur of the King of Swords is a good thing if it helps us to kind of get moving, okay? Take action towards making your dreams real. There is an intensity you can feel, and it is important to take advantage of this energy right now. If you have a plan for your career or financial abundance, now is the time to step it up. If you're asking about a relationship, make that first move. Just know that the intentions you have set in motion are coming together now at warp speed. Stay alert and keep up. Wow. Things are getting interesting when the Antelope Spirit calls you to move quickly. Protection message. Do you feel how fast the world is changing, like everything is moving at warp speed? Is it hard to control desired outcomes or set fixed goals? Because by the time you get there, you will actually have moved beyond it. Now is the time to let go and enjoy the exhilarating ride, as intentions you have set in motion in the past are coming into form with lightning speed. Your job is to stay the course, even if the pace feels dizzying. You may find you will change your mind a half a dozen times or more as you improve your offerings, and that is just fine. Make peace with the pace, for if you ride this quickening energy, you will solve the challenges quickly and effortlessly instead of getting bogged down. Yeah, this Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles feels bogged down, okay? Yeah, so let's see. I lost my spot now. Yeah, The best way to use this energy is to let go of worry and to stay mindfully present, Four of Swords, as you continue to take action. Also, if something is not going to be in your best interest, no matter how badly you want it, Antelope will quickly remove it. Yeah, talking about releasing something and removing something in the news of someone coming and going here. Also, no matter how badly you want it, Antelope will quickly remove it so you can move toward what is truly meant for you. If something is taken away, be grateful and keep moving. This is not the time to sit still, but to breathe deeply as you move forward with velocity. Pile number 1. You're moving towards those long-term goals with velocity, right? Sometimes when we have a long-term goal, like we have to do all of our Saturn work before we can start getting some velocity. And I feel like for you guys, you have done that work. I feel like you've just been hanging out in a place that is just a little bit stuck and heavy. And I feel like with velocity, things are gonna start moving for you. Pile number 1. So that's a very good news, because ultimately, like, it is time to kind of, it is time to really feel that foundation and that success that comes with reaching your long-term goals, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I certainly enjoyed reading for you. What an interesting reading. And it is so interesting to talk about, our long-term goals and where we're at with them and what's happening with them. So if you enjoyed the reading, pile number 1, you can leave me a message, leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe. It does help me grow. Thank you so much, pile number 1, and take care. Let's go ahead and move on to pile number 2. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the Dragonfly Spirit, and your card says, Truth transcends illusion. And today's reading is a pick an animal reading talking about your long-term goals and how you are progressing towards those long-term goals. And we're going to look at your oracle cards, your tarot, then we'll read the Dragonfly Spirit Oracle here from the deck, and I'll let you guys in on a little bit more here of what we find out. And yeah, you guys are pile number 2 and you have card 22. So I think that's very fortuitous, pile number 2. And let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please open the energy for my wonderful pile 2s, open to receiving. Opening up the crown chakra is what I'm feeling right now. All right, let's roll the neck out a little bit, pile number 2. Take a deep breath and tell Spirit that we are open to receive. All right, pile number 2, let's go ahead and see. When it comes to your long-term goals, how are you progressing? We have the Muse, Venus. All right, pile number 1 got Venus as well. We've got some Venus energy today. And it says here, I inspire and I am inspired, okay? Intuitive, inspired, idealistic, creative, divinely connected, passionate, emotional, and sensitive. All right, my pile number 2s, for those of you that are water signs, or just for those of you that tend to get big bags under your eyes, or you tend to get real tired at times, or you just get like, just kind of bland, nothing's really inspiring me. I feel like the fairy kingdom is here being like, pile number 2, hey, 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 right? And you guys are just like looking straight ahead and your eyes are like falling asleep. All right, and Spirit's like, look alive, and you're just like, there's beautiful flowers around you, a pink sky, fairies whispering in your ear, sprinkling you with fairy dust. Some of you guys may feel like you lost a little bit of your shine, or you've been real tired recently. It's just like, man, I don't know if I can go on. I'm inspired, I'm creative, I'm artistic, all these wonderful things, but I'm just not seeing the results that I want, and I'm kind of tired, all right? Or maybe just feeling kind of uninspired, maybe having a writer's block, or just like, And it's kind of like with Venus, we have to love something, right? We really have to love it, because otherwise it just feels like super heavy, which isn't fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. We have blessings and thanks. Okay, and it kind of came out backwards, which is interesting. I don't really read reversals, but maybe some of you guys just really haven't been feeling like, you know, I try and I try. Maybe there's some artistic projects or some things that you're like, yeah, I think that could really make me money. And then you start out on the path and you're like, oh, it's harder than it is. I'm losing motivation. I'm not seeing the results I want. I feel like you're very hardworking, pile number 2. And I also feel like you're very emotionally sensitive with the elephant, very emotionally intelligent as well. And, you know, this whole thing and as your whole reading started, I was talking about being open to receiving, right? And that whole Empress energy of being open to receiving, and your blessings and thanks for an abundant universe and a cornucopia is here for you. I feel like I'm getting Virgo, Capricorn, Libra energy off of this card, but yeah, the abundant universe opening for you. Pile number 2, we have the cat, calculating, selfish, and enemy. And here we have the Queen of Clubs, which is the Queen of Wands here. And I feel like maybe some of you guys are like, normally you're like the Queen of Wands. You're very inspired. You're taking a lot of, you know, you're like excited about your creative projects. You're into things. You're like, I can do it, you know, and you're all over it. But I feel like lately you've just been kind of like over it, you know, is what I'm seeing here. This cat kind of looks like he or she is a little bit over it right now. It's like nothing's really happening and I'm not really. Also with this whole energy of calculating, it's like this energy of, well, if I do this, what is it going to get me, right? And you may be asking yourself that, like, I am inspired, I am creative, I am listening to spirit, but if I do that, what is it going to get me, you know? And I feel like some of you guys are kind of, and I know that space too as a creator, pile number 2, so I've been there. It says a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Yeah, definitely getting those Cancer vibes here too. And also that something may be bothering you with a person in your life too. It could be a partner, it could be a friend. Because we have selfish and enemy here. So somebody could be, you know, affecting what you're working on and is just being jealous or envious or is tiring you out with their dramas and their personal charades and just everything that they're doing, tiring you out and just like, ugh, you know, and you guys are trying to work on your goals and work on progressing, but maybe there is somebody here in your environment who is become very selfish and calculating and is feeling like that enemy type of energy. All right. And spirit is saying, if you've been very upset about this, pile number 2, and you've been, you know, the dragonfly truth transcends illusion, right? So maybe there's some things that are being revealed right now about some of your relationships or some of your emotional connections, and spirit is saying, you know, this is gonna come to an end. If some of you have been very worried about a person in your life, could be a family member, a child, could be you know, I feel just weighed down emotionally, like something really, or it could be a friend, it could be a romantic partner, but something kind of weighing you down a little bit emotionally here, pile number 2. But the good news is that a personal issue is reaching resolution, right? So if you've been like, oh, I've been so tired because I've been dealing with this, I feel like, you know, this is going to reach resolution. We have here healing the heart. So there definitely could have been something with a relationship or with a child or with, you know, I feel like for some of you, if you have an adult, like grown child, or for those of you that have, you know, been going through something as far as love and relationships go that have been making you very tired, spirit talking to you guys about healing your heart. and feeling that blessed energy again. We have peony and health. Focus on all parts to make the whole. Yeah, so some of you guys may be having some long-term goals about your health and your nutrition, or just about feeling better on a day-to-day basis. I feel like for some of you also there's an emotional issue that's really digging at you, and it's really like, it really doesn't feel good. I gotta be honest, pile number 2. I feel kind of like a knifing kind of an energy, like, ooh, you know, like rubbing a spot that's very sensitive. And yeah, so I mean, some of you may be going through some health issues here too, and maybe some of your long-term goals about health and about feeling better, both emotionally and physically, all right? And having a lot to do with healing the heart here. We have the Poet of Avon, and I knew we were gonna get this poet. For some reason, I knew it. This poet is the storyteller, and Spirit is talking about fame and pride and stagnation, all right? So I feel like some of you could be writers, storytellers, you may be creative types, you may be tarot readers yourselves, you may be, you know, some type of, you may work in, you know, show business in some way here. And I feel like, you know, there's been some stagnation when it comes to your work and your efforts. And I feel like some of you guys have been upset with someone, and it may even be taking a little bit of a toll on your health here too. Okay, and I feel like some of you have some long-term goals about your work and putting your work out there, and putting your artistic work out there, your creative energies out there. And also some of you could be healers here as well, wanting to put yourself out there more, but there've just been some health issues or some stagnant personal issues, I feel. We have Candle and Illuminate, okay? So some of you, I feel like it's been very mysterious what has been bothering you, or what has been keeping you back from reaching your goals. And some of it may have to do with a love situation, like I said already, a partnership or a child or a connection, a family issue, etc. Maybe all the above, right? But I feel like here with this candle, it's illuminated, right? It's gonna be illuminated, and you're gonna see clearly like what this has been about. And let me look at this Poet of Avon here, okay? I feel like he was like looking down at his phone, or looking down, like waiting for someone to contact him, or waiting for someone to reach out to him, that he's expecting something. And it's almost kind of like, yeah, this bullshit again, you know, kind of like, oh my God, this freaking, you know, feeling this sense of stagnation when it comes to someone else, like being very prideful, being very selfish, or just not really considering your needs, pile number 2, okay? And I feel like, you know, it's distracting here in a way for you, but I know you really do love deeply, pile number 2, and I know that setting things right is part of, you know, what heals you. And I feel like this candle is illuminating like your emotional sensitivities here, because I feel like that's what's happening. We have altar and dedication. All right, so Spirit talking to you guys about dedication to whatever it is that you're doing. It's really hard to, you know, when you have long-term health goals that you're trying to eat better, or have long-term health goals, or if you're trying to stay dedicated to a spiritual practice, or trying to get your work out there, it's dedication is the name of the game, right? And what I see here is a lot of focus, and I'm drawn to the cauldron at the top, which is like bright, and it's burning, and it's going. And here under this calculating, selfish, and enemy, in the cauldron sits a cat who is looking back at me like, this fucking blows, Natalie, or I'm so mad, or I can't believe this person, or they're doing this shit again, you know? And for some of you, you may be dealing with that type of energy. And this altar energy, though, I feel like is very pure. It's very open. It's it's set up very well, right? I mean, this altar is very organized. For those of you that feel that you need to get more organized and you need to like make your space more pleasing so that you can really work and focus, I do feel like clearing the energy of your place, you know, smudging it, saging your altar, reorganizing everything. You know, if you have an altar or your workspace or your desk, right? An altar is just really any place that you dedicate some type of workings to it and you only use it for that purpose, right? So when you're in the zone, pile number 2, you're like, okay, I'm dedicating this place to only this type of work. And when I'm at this place, I'm only gonna do that, right? That focus and dedication. Also with dedication, showing up every day to what you're working on, okay? And I love the 2 candles here because we have the candle here with illuminating. And yeah, very good. We have surrender and card 31 with surrender. So Spirit talking about if you've been waiting on somebody else and they've been very prideful and they've been really just calculating and you can tell that they're just, you know, stuck on whatever it is that they're doing and they're not getting back to you, then like Spirit is saying, surrender, let go. I feel like some of you may even be thinking about cutting your hair or getting just a haircut even would be nice here. But I feel like, and I'm seeing some red on the ear. Maybe some of you dyed your hair and you got some dye on your ear, you bumped your ear, or the top of your ear is hurting a little, you got it pierced there, or pinched or something there. Interesting. But you know, the throat chakra is completely open here. It's completely open. I'm also seeing the word iris, which is a type of flower too, right? And I'm also seeing the Venus sign here and the infinity symbol and the number 8, okay? Spirit talking about the need to surrender and to like, you know, not worry so much about what this person is doing or people, if it's multiple people. And we have Saturn return and age. Okay, so Saturn was heavy in the prior reading too. It doesn't surprise me that Saturn showed up here again, especially when we're talking about dedication and doing the work. When we talk about long-term goals, that definitely is, you know, Saturn territory. And I feel like some of you guys are like, yeah, I'm just like too old for this, you know? I'm too old for this shit. And I want people to just be honest with me and don't put me through hell emotionally. Is that too much to ask, right? And I feel like some of the things that you guys have been through, pile number 2, are something that you can take and put into your art or doing whatever it is that you do really is going to help you focus that energy as well here. And I feel like some of you are just like, I should be farther ahead, or I shouldn't be still worrying about this, or I really need to. I feel like some of you guys have maybe been saying that kind of thing to yourself. And I feel like, you know, Spirit is saying just surrender, let go. Like you've already come very, very far with your goals and what you've been doing on this planet and how far you've come. And, you know, you've already done a lot, I feel like, right? And so, yeah, Spirit is just saying, don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Pile number 2. Now, I want to go ahead and see. I'm going to look at the tarot here and see. So some of you guys may have some goals as well about, you know, I'm getting older and there's certain things that I want to do, or when I'm older, right? If you're not getting old, like when I'm older, I want to have accomplished these things. Some of you guys may be in your early 30s and you're like, you know, why am I not married? Why am I not, you know, don't have a person in my life? These kinds of things, all right? And Spirit is just saying surrender. Surrender, you're doing great, okay? And there is something here about your health, getting your health on point, you know, physical, emotional health being highlighted here, and also a dedicated place for you to work that is organized, okay? and setting some type of like routine as well, I feel will be helpful, pile number 2. So let's go ahead and see what you are doing really well with when it comes to your long-term goals. And then we'll look at where there can be improvements, okay? So spirits, angels, and guides, where is pile number 2 doing really well with their long-term goals? Where are they doing really well? We have the 8 of Swords, so, you know, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I think, like, you know, even if the situations around you aren't particularly settled, or even if at times you waver and you're not sure about something, you just keep dedication, right? Dedication. The Knight of Pentacles is all about dedication. And I feel like, you know, even in the face of uncertainty, even when you're not sure where things are headed or where things are going, you guys remain steadfast and dedicated, okay? And so that is very, you know, consistency, right? As far as meeting long-term goals. Well, I don't know if I can see any results yet. I'm not sure where this is headed. 8 of Swords. I'm confused about what I should do next, maybe, but I am being very dedicated and consistent about what I'm doing here. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Wow. You guys really you really surrender to hard work. You really know how to do that, okay? 3 of Pentacles is a Mars in Capricorn card, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So, I mean, talk about consistency, hard work paying off, effort and determination, going after your goals, like, you know, keeping pushing forward. And I love how it looks like it's an arrow straight up here, and how you're ambitious and how you work really hard. Pile number 2. I almost called you pile number 1, but pile number 2. And it makes so much sense that you guys would have the Chariot here, because the Chariot is about Cancer energy and this whole thing of a personal issue reaching resolution in this Cancer energy. So you're gonna move through this, okay? Some of you have been very emotional and you're like tired and things emotionally or health-wise, you just haven't been feeling yourself. I think a lot of it for you guys too here with the 8 of Swords has been like mental uncertainty about something and where you stand, maybe where you stand with someone in some cases here, but you guys do not give up. Pile number 2, you do not give up. And you are very dedicated, very, very much so. And you do put in the work. And the Chariot is actually associated with the great work in tarot. So you guys really do, not only, your work is very high quality. Not only is it very like, you know, done in a very, you know, regimented, consistent kind of way, but it also is, you know, it also has quality associated with it, is what I feel. And, you know, even if you are going through some phases of uncertainty or wondering why things are happening, or you're not sure how things are going to turn out, you just keep pushing forward. You just keep producing. You just keep going. And, you know, yeah, so I think, and in some ways that may be what's making you really tired, right? It's like in our greatest strength, you know, in our greatest strength also lies our weakness, and in our weakness lies our greatest strength, right? So that may be also why you guys are kind of tired, because you maybe have just been, some of you, this is like the 3 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles can be kind of like a workaholic. So it doesn't matter like what you're working on, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's business, whatever your long-term goal is here, you guys are very consistent, dedicated hard workers. You may even work a little bit too hard at times to your own detriment. You know, to the point where you're just exhausted and it's like, I don't know what else I can do here. But, you know, heaven loves a hustler, pile number 2, heaven loves a hustler. And I think you know that when it comes to manifestations. And, you know, you guys can move through things. If things are upsetting, I feel, or confusing, I think you are going to move through things. And I think you are going to get emotional clarity, okay? So let's see what can be done a little bit better here when it comes to your long-term goals. What can be done a little bit better here? We have the Two of Wands. Okay, so we need to have more fun, okay? I think you guys are like, I feel very serious kind of about what it is that you want to do, and you're very focused and serious and, you know, committed, I feel. And with the Two of Wands, it's like, okay, you may do something the same way over and over and over again and wonder like, why am I not getting a better result on that, right? Which is really good for consistency. And, you know, like if you're mass producing something, you need to have that. But sometimes too, like we have to allow ourselves to be derailed a little bit and some of you may be thinking a little bit too narrowly about your long-term goals too. There may be a need to kind of step back from what you're doing and go, does this still make sense for me? Is this still what I want? Because I think you're throwing a lot of energy at it, right? But with the Two of Wands, we really pull back and we're like, okay, is this really what I want? Does this really make sense for me? Am I really enjoying this, or does this just feel like hard all the time, right? We have the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, this whole sense of like, I wish things were moving a lot faster here. This is taking a whole lot of effort. Could I find a way to make things go faster, right? But I feel like when you do that, sometimes it leads to issues with quality, or it leads to things breaking down. I feel like for some of you, if you feel like if I'm not involved in it and my hands aren't on it, it may not get done correctly. And so you're just like, I'd love to be able to like delegate more, but some things I have to do, right? And that can be tiring, okay? That can be really tiring. Here's the Queen of Cups. So yeah, this whole energy of surrender, here she is bathing in this water. And the Queen of Cups is also Cancer in the tarot. It is most assuredly Cancer. And so this whole thing of like, you know, giving yourself a chance to breathe here, giving yourself, I mean, pampering. Also, I feel like being near the water or close to the water, or for God's sakes, take a cleansing bath or a beautiful shower, or, you know, just to refresh your energy, because I do feel like you guys work very hard. Also, you know, like give yourself some time to dream, give yourself some time, because when you're like working, I feel like a lot of your mental energy is tied up with persistence and pursuit and consistency. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups, it's more like I'm giving myself some time to dream. I'm giving myself some time to just kind of roll with my emotions. And, you know, and some of you may need to take a little bit of a break. Maybe you're working really hard to avoid feeling certain things or looking at certain things at times. And Spirit is saying, you know, you actually like processing those emotions and sort of like working through them would be very helpful for you. It wouldn't be the shit show that you think it would be, all right? And just giving yourself some time to like emotionally go through your cycles. Some of you may be very, you know, up and down with the cycles of the moon, depending on where it's at, but yet you still work through it anyway. So yeah, and then we have the 10 of Cups, right? Oh my God. All right, the Three of Swords is on the bottom of the deck, talking about when people hurt you and when people disappoint you. Pile number 2, this can really make you question things like, am I doing this right? Here's the Queen of Wands. There you are, right there, right? And I feel like when you guys go through deep disappointments in relationships, in business, in any type of a partnership, it's like you start to question, am I even doing this right? Do I even know what I'm doing? And it's like the Ace of Swords and the Lovers. Yes, you know what you're doing. You're just going through some big time changes with the Death card here. Okay, don't let it rock your faith in you, because, you know, Spirit is saying this is actually a lot easier and a lot more, you know, This is actually, you know, a lot more, I feel like attending to your emotional needs and your emotional states, and also your happiness and feeling like emotionally satisfied, taking care of yourself, feeling like there are people in your life that support you, letting your cup be refilled, letting others take care of you and love on you. I feel like this actually helps your long-term goals, you know? And I feel like here it's like, I can't let up, I can't let up. And it's very focused, it's very determined, it's very consistent. But there's this sense of, I can't let up, I can't let up. And here it's like, no, we should feel our feelings. We should, you know, enjoy our lives with the 10 of Cups, and talking about your blessings here. And sometimes maybe not realizing, like, I actually do have it kind of good, all right, with this blessings and thanks and abundant universe. So yeah, I do think that is something like, just acknowledging that you need some time to just not work all the time and just enjoy your life. You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in our goals and what we're doing that we don't even stop to like smell the roses. Okay. And yeah, and Spirit here talking about, like with the Two of Wands, like I said, about, you know, stepping back for a little bit and just looking at things and being like, is this still what I want? You know, because you're very dedicated. Pile number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and read about your Dragonfly card here and see what it says when it comes to the Dragonfly. Okay, so the Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as Dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and to recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. That to me reminds me of the High Priestess, right? In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses. The Queen of Cups, sensing deeply into things, right? There is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone, for your higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied. You are preoccupied. Pile number 2, first and foremost. Dragon Spirit offers you this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom. Yeah, Saturn, share their wisdom, right? Talking about wisdom. And you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences it craves. All right, I feel you guys are doing it. You're working towards your long-term goals, okay? Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it. Yeah, I talked about overlooking your blessings, right? And overlooking things. And sometimes we overlook love when we don't recognize it in a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams. Yeah, I talked about the need to dream here. Inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and that there is a great consciousness that connects in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights to your conscious mind. Protection message. Do you really think the world of senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living and loving and always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available for you in every moment. There is an organizing principle. Yeah, I was talking about organization, right? Better organization. There is an organizing principle underlying the events you have experienced. The Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it and trust that Spirit has your back. Let go of the illusion of chaos and randomness. Love is here. So follow the signs that appear serendipitously. As you pay attention to all the magic around you, you will know that you are on the right track, right? As I said, reevaluating. Am I still on the right track? Do I still like this? Am I still, and talk about surrendering. And I feel like this Queen of Cups is looking at this Ten of Cups like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's really what's going on here, right? And, you know, Spirit talking about surrendering to the love and to the wisdom, and talking about your dedication, your healing abilities, pile number 2. Okay, so that is I feel you guys are progressing onto your long-term goals. I feel you do have the dedication and the energy to do it. You know, I just think that from time to time you need to back up and, you know, and see, is this still really what I want? And also like a need to maybe organize things a little bit better. And then I would also say a need to really just see the love around you and claim all the blessings that are around you and all the love that wants to be there for you and fill your cup, okay? For those of you that are kind of like diving into your work to maybe like avoid other things. All right, and there was a big emphasis on health here, both emotional and physical. I care. I'm just gonna say I care. I care for you, pile number 2. So make sure you take care of yourself too. Focus on all parts to make the whole is what Spirit is saying. All right, focus on all parts to make the whole. So yeah, all parts to make the whole, focusing on all areas of your life, not just one area. So thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope that that reading resonated for you, my loves. I hope that you got something out of it. And I am sending you much love as always. If you did enjoy your reading, please give me a like, share, or subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love the comments more than anything. So thank you so much, pile number 2, and take care. All right, let's go ahead and get into pile number 3. Let's do it, pile number 3. All right. You can ring my bell, pile number 3. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You have the Flamingo Spirit. This is card number 26, and it says, embrace the in-between. And just as I was starting your reading, I was like, pile number 3, you can ring my bell, okay? Do you guys remember that song? You can ring my bell. Anyway, I can't sing with shit today, or any day, pile number 3, but thanks for putting up with me, pile number 3. So anyway, yeah, I feel like I'm seeing the letter S here for those of you that have a connection with that name, first, middle, or last name. And anyway, pile number 3, I love the flamingo. I feel like it's such a unique animal totem. I feel like it's so interesting. That bright pink orangey color is just like super cool, okay? And their beak is kind of reminding me of like a pelican. It's a very interesting animal. So pile number 3, are you a very interesting animal? Let's go ahead and get into your reading. This reading is about pick an animal, your long-term goals, how are you progressing? So if there's certain long-term goals that you have, we are gonna go into your oracle cards and discuss that. Then we're gonna look at with the tarot, what you're doing really well, and then also what you can continue to further develop. And then we are going to read about the flamingo in this Animals Oracle Spirit book, okay? So let's do it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number 3. Open the channel so that I may receive. Please and thank you. Let's go ahead and do it. Pile number 3. We have the celebrity. All right, so to reach your long-term goals, pile number 3, you're gonna have to put yourself out there, my loves, and you are very beautiful and unique and different and cool, pile number 3. Don't forget that about yourself. And you know, for you to really be manifesting your long-term goals, some of it has to do with that confidence, the belief in yourself, putting yourself out there, being the leader, letting other people witness your journey, okay? And maybe some of you would like to see your business or your ideas or the things that you're working on kind of get more traction around them or get more eyes on them, okay? But it says here, the celebrity and the sun energy. I lead with my light. Charismatic, imaginative, luminous, confident, authentic, inspiring, passionate, magnetic, impactful, public, fashionable, independent, noble, generous, and unique. Yeah, and I did mention unique with the flamingo spirit, and part of, you know, you getting out there is you shining your light, pile number 3. So are you putting yourself out there? Are you allowing yourself to be seen and to be known? Let's go ahead and see what else. Pile number 3, we have creation, expansion in your life. This reminds me of Jupiter energy as well. And I love that, you know, I love that. And some of you, you know, all of these cards for some reason came out backwards, and I don't really read reversals, but maybe there's been some in between, because we have the embrace the in between here. Maybe you've been in between your projects or what you've been working on, or you were getting noticed for something, but then it kind of, you know, tapered off a little bit. And Spirit's just talking here about expanding this creative energy and this expansion of joy in your life. Growing is what I feel. Growing, pile number 3, is part of your long-term goal, like growing and expanding your influence and your reach here through what you're doing. We have the broom, conflicts, and clearing the air. And the Ace of Clubs here would be the Page of Wands. So maybe some of you guys have been working with others, or you've been conflicted within yourself, or you had a bit of a tiff with somebody in your life, and there is something like the air does need to be cleared here, or just dealing with conflicts, right? And in a very like open manner. Maybe some of you guys have been having some goals around that and about clearing the air with people, or when things happen, just getting things right out in the open. That way, you know, your life can continue to expand and grow in positive ways, right? Because I am feeling a lot of positivity in this pile. And I think, you know, maybe you've decided, yeah, if something comes up, I'm no longer gonna like hide my head in the sand. I definitely wanna be like, I want to be assertive, but not a jerk, but I want to clear the air, okay? And we have, don't let your past hold you back, South Node. So, you know, this is interesting in the context of long-term goals. You know, maybe in the past there were conflicts, or there were times when you weren't able to kind of put yourself in the spotlight, or maybe you felt some shame about some things in your life or your past, all right? Or things that happened, right? And that can be when you're trying to do long-term goals. Sometimes we can limit ourselves, right? Because of the things that happened in the past, and we can be like, well, I don't know if I can do that. Or we might just have something that is making us feel like, I don't know if I can do that, right? But Spirit's just saying here, don't let anything from your past hold you back. And if there is a conflict, or there is some things that are in the air or being said, like, you know, let's get them out in the open, and let's expand your energy. Pile number 3, we have the time machine and the number 3. We also have the 3 here on this creation card, which reminds me of the Empress. And here we have a 3 with the time machine. So 33 in pile 3, very interesting. And I feel like some of you guys are like, yeah, if I could go back in time, I might have done something differently. If I could know what I know now, I might not have done some of the things, or I would have done something faster. Or if I would have known, I wish I would have started working on something a lot sooner, or I maybe would have made a different decision, is also what I feel like here. But Spirit is just saying, you know, nobody has a time machine. We know what we know when we know it. And, you know, and that, even if you could go back, like there is going to be a lot of expansion and happiness and vitality I feel in your life, pile number 3. Once we clear out the past and we clear out this old energy, there's not going to be a need or a want to kind of return to the past. Also, with Time Machine, we can talk about, you know, jumping into the future, right? Some people just want to like fast forward to the good stuff, you know, and it's like idealistic and exciting, and we just want to fast forward to the good stuff, right? And then there's those that limit themselves because they feel like they're in the past, right? And this flamingo is talking about embracing the in-between, or embracing what I feel like is the now, you know? Now is between the past and between the past and the future, right? So no need to like time machine yourself forward into the future, into the past, just kind of be here now. And we have Picture, Plant, Insight. The answers are there for those that look. Okay, the answers are there for those that look. And maybe you have some goals when it comes to expansion, when it comes to your work, when it comes to money, when it comes to, you know, receiving the benefits of what you've been doing and working on, right? And this card saying here, the answers are there for those that want to look and do the work. There's insight there. We have the Lady of Masks. How interesting. And the Shaper. You see this woman here, and she's holding a mask in front of her. And it's talking about vanity and surface appearance. Okay, and especially with this celebrity energy, maybe in the past, you guys really wanted people to notice you in this way, or you really, maybe some of you have some goals about the way you look and your appearance and your body as well here. Talking about the Lady of Masks and the Shaper, like the shape that we want other people to perceive us in a certain way, right? And this whole thing of reclamation and sort of taking back like what is our true nature is what I feel here, pile number 3. All right, so some of you may be like, I don't know why I cared so much about that in the past, or I don't know why that was so important to me. I wish I could change that, or I'm not sure. Maybe some of you have goals around not wearing masks around other people, or pretending that things are okay with you when they're not, okay? So talking about like, if we kind of go back in time and look at why we are the way we are, the answers are right there for those who look. We have Clear Quartz and Heal. So there definitely is something, you guys may have goals about healing your past here with this Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, and healing from that, and healing from times when you didn't feel authentic, or you didn't feel like you were really being yourself, and talking about how you want to expand into more areas of your life and not just one or two. And talking about healing from a time when maybe some of you dealt with bullying, and you dealt with people that were very mean or harsh to you in some way, whether that's siblings or people you went to school with. Then you felt like you needed to look a certain way, and maybe there were some, you know, conflicts and clearing of the air that happened, of course, as a result of that. But Spirit just saying here, like, you know, be authentic, because that's really going to be what brings you into your future self here. We have the High Priestess, responsibility, okay? So talking about, you know, responsibility, self-responsibility, right? And people do need to take responsibility for the things that they did, right? If people were making you feel very down about yourself, pile number 3, or just making you feel like you had to adjust to their expectations, and you don't want to do that anymore, and you're done with that shit, you know? And I feel like you guys are saying, I'm taking personal responsibility for myself, and I am not just this fucking delicate flower that can't take things. I'm strong, I'm determined, and I will take responsibility for myself and my life. Maybe if I could go back in a time machine and change things, maybe I would, but there's really no such thing as that. And your past is important too. Pile number 3, like it is important, and it's made you the fighter that you are today. Pile number 3, okay? And I feel like some of you guys are like, yeah, you know, my long-term goal is I want to be independent. I want to be responsible for me. I want to be free to live my life. I don't want everybody else influencing me. And I think that that's wonderful, pile number 3. We have choices. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like you guys are saying, you know, you're very beautiful, pile number 3. You know, whether you're a guy or a girl watching this, you're very, very beautiful. And you have some choices about who you want to be in the world, you know, and taking responsibility for yourself and choices that you made in the past and clearing the air with people and not holding back anymore and being like, this is my true self. This is really who I am. And I want to be around people who are the same, okay, with that authenticity. So I feel like right now with this embrace the in-between, you're learning right now and you're taking responsibility, you're making better choices, you're making good choices, and you're deciding what you want to create in your life, and you're healing from your past, okay? And these long-term goals, they add up. These things that you're doing, this self-work that you're doing, this taking of responsibility, this claiming of your power, this is all like relating to all your long-term goals. I feel pile number 3. Yeah, we have the air element and communicating, okay? So we could have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius is here. We could have with the sun. I feel like we could have Leo or Aquarius here as well. But this air element I feel like if there are certain things from your past that you haven't been able to talk about, or you haven't been able to get out on paper, maybe journaling, maybe talking to a therapist, talking to friends. I feel like for some of you guys, you didn't trust people, you know, like you didn't really trust people to kind of with your secrets or with anything going on with you. So I feel like some of you really... and some of you may not have really communicated like why you made certain choices that you did. And you may have felt like others really didn't communicate that with you either. So communication becomes a big, you know, understanding, right? Understanding yourself, understanding, you know, why under those conditions you would have made those decisions and choices, and having compassion for yourself, okay? That's how we learn, right? That's all about the air element and how we learn. And if we have a thirst and a hunger for why we made certain decisions and learning, right? As long as we're not beating ourselves up over it and it is just an exercise of learning, then that can really help us take responsibility, make better choices, and pursue our long-term goals in a very organic way, pile number 3. Okay, so yeah, very interesting energy for you guys. And with this Lady of the Masks here in Shaper, I think you're realizing that you really shape, you know, you really have the right to shape who you are in your life by the choices that you make, and, you know, what you're able to what you're able to communicate, what you're able to do and face and get insights on is really what shapes who you are, like the authentic you underneath everything, okay? So I feel like you guys are on the right path here, pile number 3. And, you know, and there's with this expansion, this creative expansion into your life, and these new insights that you've been getting have been helping you to further your goals and further whatever goals that you have, okay? And we have the Hierophant here, so we're looking at what you're already doing really well. So I feel like, you know, the Hierophant is all about responsibility. It's Taurus energy too. It's all about, you know what, fine, I'll just take the hit, but, you know, I'll take responsibility for that, or I'll take the hit for that. But at the same time, that isn't going to slow me down. It's not going to knock me down. And I'm just going to keep persevering. Okay. And also talking about learning, right? And I feel like determination is something that really shows up with the Hierophant too. Determination and responsibility for what you've said and done. Okay, here's the Eight of Pentacles. So you're really working hard on what you believe in, I feel. Pile number 3, like whatever it is that you believe in and you set your mind on, you work very hard on it, and you're not afraid, you're humble, you're not afraid to start at square one and have someone mentor you or teach you or help you figure out, you know, what it is for you. And I feel like you are very dedicated, you're very responsible and resourceful. And when somebody instructs you properly or shows you what to do or gives you a good example, I feel like you guys can take that and run with that and be very responsible with that, okay? And some of you may be learning a lot faster than you ever have in your life and really absorbing that energy, which is wonderful. I mean, that is like all about excellence, okay? Pile number 3. So let's see, what is pile number 3 doing really well here? We have 2 of Wands. I think, you know, you're really good at, not only can you be disciplined and learn from others and learn from your past and start over and rebuild and come back stronger than ever, I also feel like you guys can both do the detailed work, but also pull back into the 2 of Wands and ask yourself, is this really what I want to be doing for my whole life? And you know, once I learn this craft or trade, once I put my energy into this, what would I like to do with this? Or where would I like to take this? And that's very like directed, enterprising type of energy. Some of you guys may be wanting to have your own businesses, or maybe you already do, and you've been learning a new skill or a new trade from a teacher. And you're wondering, like, how am I going to deploy this? How am I going to use this? And how I'm going to put this into what I already know and what I already do. And I feel like, you know, you guys have that, like, you have that get up and go that's Mars and Aries with the 2 of Wands. And I feel like you're not daunted, you know, like you're dauntless. I feel like, you know, this is you guys. You're like Supergirl or like Superman, you know. It's like, I don't care how much effort and work it's going to take me. I am going to do it, okay? And I'm going to get it and keep doing it until it's right. And yeah, and I feel like you guys also watch other people do this and observe it, and then you take what that is and you cut your time in half by taking what you already learned and then employing it, okay? So talk about like speeding up as well here. Let's see, what is pile number 3 already doing really well when it comes to their long-term goals? When it comes to their long-term goals, what are they already? Yeah, the 6 of Cups. I feel like, you know, you guys are, not only are you like healing and helping others, I feel like you're cutting your time in half and you're getting to the answer like a lot quicker than maybe like your parents did, or maybe people that you saw doing things. I feel like your focus and effort, determination, and, you know, wanting to just kind of really master something pushes you guys forward a lot faster than maybe some other people. You know, the last 2 readings we saw like a lot of effort and energy. I feel like for you guys, it's a little bit faster because of the heavy lessons. And not to say the other piles didn't have lessons, but I feel like your process is a little bit quicker. Like you can kind of cut your time in half when it comes to reaching your long-term goals. I also feel like you guys share what you know with others with the 6 of Cups. And you take great pleasure out of helping others and helping others refine what they're doing and their processes and leading others. And after you've learned, right, after you've taken responsibility and put in the effort, I feel like you guys are happy to pass on your knowledge and pass on your wisdom. And it's very healing for you to do that, pile number 3. It's very emotionally satisfying and it's very healing for you to do that. And, you know, who know that taking responsibility, making smart choices, and being a good, you know, being a good activist for yourself and also for others would bring this type of healing and happiness, but I feel like it really does for you, pile number 3, and it's allowing you to move towards your long-term goals in a very streamlined way, okay? In a very dedicated, responsible, and streamlined way. Now, when it comes to things that you could be doing a little bit better with, or advices for working on your long-term goals and improving upon, let's see, we have the Knight of Wands. So let's see, why is the Knight of Wands here? Why is the Knight of Wands here, Spirit? Why is the Knight of Wands here as far as improvements? The Four of Cups. All right, so, you know, I feel like you guys don't really want to be rushed. You know, I mean, once you really work something out and you really see it in action, then you can go forward. But you're not a person just to kind of try something, I feel like, off the whim maybe. Or maybe you have been in the past, you know, you've been a person that tries something really quick, and then when it doesn't work out, you're like, I don't ever want to try that again. Actually, I feel that's more the case. That maybe in the past you tried something, or you were a risk taker, or you did something and then you were really quick with it, and then you didn't like what happened, and you've learned your lesson about this, right? But I also feel like now if you try something and if it doesn't work exactly how you want it, you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to try it again. I don't, you know, right? But I feel like that energy is because of maybe things that happened in the past when you're like, oh, I wish I would have made better choices, or I wish I would have made some better decisions, or maybe I was very impulsive there and just rushing into things headstrong without realizing what I was doing there. And I feel like Spirit is saying, just because, like, you know, just because it didn't go exactly to plan doesn't mean that there isn't something good there for you to look at, to know, or to see, okay? And this whole thing of wanting a time machine, right? Like, if I just had a time machine and I could see how my actions would play out, right? But the whole thing is the process of understanding and learning, like, about ourselves during that process, okay? Rejection might be kind of hard for you to handle too, pile number 3, when you put something out there and you're like, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good, right? But then, you know, it's like, you know, how come nobody didn't like it, right? But the thing is maybe some people did. And that may touch on, for some of you that have gone through experiences of being bullied or really that way in the past, like, that type of rejection can feel very harsh. Let's see what else here as far as long-term goals. What else here as far as long-term goals could pile number 3 kind of be working on and improving on? We have the 8 of Swords. I tried that. It didn't work out. Now I'm not sure where I want to go with it. Now I have a ton of choices and I can't really make up my mind about what I want to do. And now I feel like everything's on shaky ground, and the past, you know, my past successes aren't as strong, right? And yeah, so let's see what else as far as what can be improved upon here. Temperance. That's the answer to everything, isn't it? Right? And the Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom of the deck here. Pile number 3, talking about your fate, your destiny, your fortune. You know, I feel like some of you may have thought, like, why do I have, especially in the beginning period of your life, or maybe even the last 5 years, like, why did I have such shitty luck? Or why did I run into such shitty situations? And I feel like with the Judgment card here, you know, we don't know why everything bad happens. I mean, I can't pretend that I know that answer any more than any other person on this planet, but I know for me, when really shitty things have happened in the past, it really did wake me up, and it served as a big, huge reminder of, like, this is not, like, things need to change, right? With the Judgment card here, here's the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen. Yeah, there's a lot of, behind all this energy of things didn't turn out the way that I wanted. I have shitty luck. nothing ever goes my way. Like there is, after we get past that, there's a lot of supportive energy and especially supportive people and people who will back your ideas or people that want to help out, pile number 3. So don't worry, my loves. And I feel like some of you are going to be very strong business owners, or maybe you already are, and you're just getting through a phase right now, okay? But yeah, I feel like temperance is kind of the answer to this whole question of, well, I did something, I tried it, it didn't work, I'm fucked. Like, what do I do now? Like, I made the wrong choice, right? And I feel like temperance is like this energy of, well, you know, it wasn't that bad. And, you know, there is certain lessons I can take from that. And there is certain things that I can learn, and not everything was lost here. And it's like, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater type of thing. And I also feel like for you guys, there could be a teacher, or maybe you guys are going to start teaching as well. But I definitely feel there is an energy of mentorship or teaching in your pile. And I don't know if you guys have goals about that, or you want to be mentored, or you want to teach yourself. But I definitely feel like, you know, I took that person's advice. It didn't go the way I wanted. Now I'm fucked, right? So I feel like here, like some better instructors or better people, or just people, you know, or even just you yourself realizing, okay, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. That's not exactly what I wanted. And, you know, not letting it keeping you from taking risks though, right? Because we have to do that in life. Like we have to take risks, and not everything is going to turn out like exactly perfect, right? And I think you already know that, pile number 3. I'm preaching to the choir here. But sometimes when things don't turn out exactly like you wanted, I think just being like, okay, well, lesson learned. Now I know I need to add a little bit more of this instead of that. Now I know I need to try a little bit of this instead of that. Or maybe I need, you know, maybe I should get a teacher in that area or get some help in that area, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing here as far as your long-term goals. Now, let's go ahead and read this Flamingo spirit for you, my beautiful pile number 3s. I hope this reading makes sense to all of you who watched for those of you that watch the piles. Like, I really do hope. Sometimes I post readings and I'm like, will that make sense to anyone? Will anybody even, you know, and I'm probably in this second line right here of pile number 3. Like, I tried something, I put it out there, I didn't like the results it got. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that, right? But anyway, pile number 3, I understand your energy, okay? So let's read the Flamingo. It says, Oracle message, balance comes easy to the Flamingo spirit. Balance, temperance, right? Balance comes easy to the Flamingo spirit who sees what was and what will be and stands strong in the face of uncertainty. You can be informed by what came before and a plan for the future yet to be, but do not resist the Flamingo spirit call to be fully present in the now where the real magic happens. With one foot in life, okay, look at temperance, 1 foot in the water, okay? With 1 foot in life, you are moving away from and into the future, and one in the future as you become the one who leads the life of your highest intentions. You must make peace with the fact that you are not fully in either place. You're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're in the in-between, okay? Or the now. The presence of the Flamingo spirit is also a sign that your creativity is arising within you. Yeah, this creation energy, that's wonderful. Your creativity is arising within you and opportunities are beginning to present themselves. Remain here, maybe opportunities for teaching or mentoring, pile number 3. Remain here in a balanced state of mind. For there is much to know and learn before going forward with new plans. Yeah, maybe learning a bit more before going forward with new plans. You can trust this moment and yourself as you take in what you see and become aware of all that you are experiencing in this in-between time. protection message. If you're feeling nervous and wobbly, stop worrying about the past and the future. Instead, be present in the moment, balancing. For now is the space in which creativity arises. Creativity is your birthright, but if you're moving too quickly in an attempt to avoid the discomfort of transition, you can blind yourself to the miraculous possibilities. Yeah, if you're moving too quickly, the Knight of Wands, through transitions, you can blind yourself. Four of Cups and Eight of Swords, right? You can blind yourself, all right? Let's see, where was I asked? No blinding, right? You can blind yourself to the miraculous possibilities that are before you now, and those just coming into being. The past has its lessons and planning has its merits, but right now you may be imbalanced because you're becoming too nostalgic for once what was, or too anxious about what the future might hold. There is a time to plan carefully. For now, be still, know that Spirit is here co-creating with you in this moment. The next step will appear when it needs to appear. Relax into a state of equanimity and balance, right? Temperance card. So any anxiety can transmute into trust and faith that all will be as it will for the highest good. Okay, pile number 3. Sometimes that can be the hardest thing to do if you're a control freak. And I feel like some of you in pile number 3, maybe with this Hierophant and Eight of Pentacles energy, right? I will control everything. I will, right? Yeah, anyway, just talking about, some things we don't know everything yet, and we can't live in the past and fully live in the future either. We need to be in the now and embrace the in-between for right now, because there is a lot of healing, this clear quartz, and a lot of learning, this air element here. Okay, so thank you so much, my beautiful pile number 3s. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Do leave me a like, a share, a subscribe, or a comment if you feel so inclined. And I hope you all have a beautiful day and take care on your path.